This year they will finish. 3, 2, 1.
4.
Let's go. I thought I was going to be crazy.
This was hard.
I thought I was going crazy, dude.
Hard.
Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. You got your boy Dan Powers, as always.
You got your boy CP, as always.
And we're joined by Tomer.
Well, most
Yet
of them.
again.
Most of them, at least.
Nate Thompson here.
Nate
Yep.
Thompson, not any more future Nate Thompson.
Yeah.
Because as you can
No.
see, there's a bag of frozen peas on your dick and balls.
Yeah,
You got snipped today.
I did.
You got snipped on the way here, not just like, earlier today.
That
That's
is
it,
not
like-
an exaggeration.
Yeah, got snipped
You
on the way
got
here.
snipped, and
And
then
I came here.
Yeah, that's dedication.
I'm all in, boys.
It's so dude. Nice kicks, by the way.
Thank
I didn't
you.
even
Thank
see
you.
those.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
this is
Very nice.
fantastic, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That's the text we get. Can you guys snag some frozen peas on the way in?
Yeah.
It was pretty much. It was like getting an oil change.
Yeah. You know what's really great?
It was quick.
We were talking about the schedule for this, doing this episode. CP started throwing around times, and then you were like, I'm getting snipped on Monday. And I hate to admit, the immediate thought I had was, damn, that would be a great episode if you came in fresh off of vasectomy. But before I could even finish the thought, Tomer was like, I could just come in still.
Yeah,
And
right.
I was like, let's fucking go, dude. We are on the same page right now.
Can you tell everyone how simple it was?
Yeah.
It took probably from start to finish, tops 30 minutes.
It's crazy.
Like
And-
just that easy.
And you don't go under.
No, a local anesthetic.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's probably the worst part. You have a needle.
Yeah.
You know.
But does it hurt
that
worse
part.
than a needle, like a shot in my arm? It hurts worse than that, or is it just like it's a shot? It hurts. Just
No, it's a shot. I think
Yeah.
it just hurts
Yeah.
just as much. It's just
Yep.
maybe a little bit more sensitive in
Yeah,
that
yeah. Oh,
area,
yep.
but where you're gonna, like
Yeah.
that. But I think it's actually, like I told you, it's scary how easy it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally, he was like, all right,
And were you just having a conversation with him, or were you
total.
Yeah,
Just
what do
talking
you do
about,
during it while it's happening?
we're talking about my kids, talking about his kids, talking about, I had a nice view
Yeah.
next to me. I sent you guys the view, right?
That's
You saw
right.
that?
That's
Yeah.
right.
A nice
that's right.
view. We kind of sat there. I didn't look down once though.
No,
Okay,
God,
I was
no.
gonna-
I couldn't look down once. I couldn't
I
do it.
wanted to ask: Is there a
Yes.
sheet over it, or can you just watch everything
No,
that's going on?
there's a cover, and then there's just the circled area of where he is
He's going to town.
doing his procedure, and they tape
Yeah.
what they need to tape to get out of the way, obviously.
Sure.
And yeah, it was like,
Boom.
that was it. And I'm just looking up.
Yeah, dude, right here. Eyes up here. boy.
I just kept
Yeah.
eyes straight up, and
Yeah.
I didn't look down this way.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
I wouldn't want to
No.
watch that.
Have you? But you've examined post.
Post,
Like
yeah.
once you got out, you immediately.
Oh, I looked down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked down. Everything's good.
And he's
Everything's in the
fine.
same place?
Everything-
Everything looks great. It was all the same.
Amazing.
Battle scars, chick dig scars.
Yeah.
Actually, is there even can you even see?
I don't even think there will be any
Yeah.
scar
I
when
doubt
it.
it.
No.
Yeah.
And it's the stitches they just come off, right? It's like the
Yeah.
dissolvable
Dissolve.
stitches.
They
dissolve?
Yeah, after like a week.
Beauty.
Yeah, routine, boys. Routine.
Everybody, everybody do it.
Routine vasectomy and come to a pod after.
Put some frozen peas on it. And we're
That's
ready to rock.
2024 for you, dude. That's
Yeah, I mean-
2024. Quick vasectomy, quick pod. That's
Yeah.
the way the world works now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, boys, the good news is we are officially a month away from the season start, which
Yep.
means we're into our division breakdown episodes. But before we do that, wanted to just quickly touch on your thoughts on the PWHL team names. Did you
Oh
see this?
yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I
Yeah,
got 'em
read
for
'em
you.
up.
Let's see.
So we have our 6 inaugural teams today. The logos and team names for all 6 teams.
I was looking forward to this
Me
big
too.
time.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to this because they've done a good job of building it.
I really like 2 of them.
So we've got the Boston Fleet, the Minnesota Frost, the New York Sirens, the Ottawa Charge, the Montreal Victory, and the Toronto Scepters. They're not great.
I love Fleet.
I was just gonna say I think my favorite's the Boston Fleet.
Fleet.
Boston
and the
Fleet's
logo's
the best.
strong
Sounds
logo.
Yeah,
nice.
Boston Fleet logo, actually pretty sick.
Yeah, that is pretty sick.
Like, it's an anchor.
The
It's got
Toronto
B.
what? Scepters?
The Toronto Scepters. And you know it's brutal? Here's the logo. For those listening, you can look it up.
It's on IG too.
This is the logo that was in a Taylor Swift video from years ago.
It's the same.
It's
Same thing.
literally
Same thing.
the same
It's the
thing.
same.
And I just feel like someone on the design team has got to find that.
Yeah, or or they did it on purpose.
Minnesota Frost. That's okay.
It's not bad.
That's the one I like.
logo's tough.
Logo stinks, but
It looks like that's the most chat GPT
Logo
one that
stinks, yeah.
I've seen. But also Minnesota Frost, that's pretty cool.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, Boston Fleet's the best one, and then
Montreal Victory logo, sick.
okay, I like that.
Good logo.
yeah.
They've got great colors. They got the fleur-de-lis in there.
Yep.
I kind of like that one a lot.
Yeah, I like
actually.
that one a lot.
Yeah.
Ottawa Charge, tough. Looks like a Cleveland Cavaliers logo.
And I kind of like the Calgary Flames too a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Calgary Flames.
It's like every C thing ever. They're like,
And then the New York Sirens is just like, what are we doing?
Why? I don't know about that one either.
Me neither. And there are some people who are saying like a siren, like the Greek mythology siren.
Yeah.
New York is not. I mean, I know that there is literally water, but like they're not a coastal town.
I know,
So they
dude.
can't claim that. And literally in the write-up, they were like, "There's a hum to the city," and I'm like, "Did you name a team after the constant police sirens that are going on in your city? That's a crazy decision." So
I know. I don't love that.
I don't love it either.
The Fleet, and then the Montreal one's probably second. And
I agree.
I don't know after that.
Yeah, the Scepters kind of cool, but just name them
Yeah.
the Royals. I think the Toronto Royals is a sick name.
yeah, because like RBC. I guess that's everywhere. But
They're
like
going
Royal
for,
Bank
like,
of
the
Canada is
royalty
like
thing.
that's what I.
Yeah,
picture
you could go
when-
that route for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You could do that.
But I think it's good that they have names.
Yeah,
I
necessary.
don't even care if some of them aren't that great. They got names, they got logos. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
It's good.
I mean, they did. Like I said, they did a really good job of taking that year of like making the
Yep.
slow decision of
Yep.
naming every team.
Utah Hockey Club following that model.
Same. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
They're
But I really like what they're doing with their league, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see it's going like this.
Oh,
A
hell yeah.
lot.
hell yeah.
Big time.
I mean,
I always I got to do boy
these
doing a
gals
documentary
can
on
fucking
it.
play.
No, they can play.
Sick.
No, they're good.
All right. These are my favorite episodes in the world.
Yep, Dan loves these. Last year we went east to west, division wise.
Yep.
This year we're going west to east, so we're starting in the Pacific. And I'm going to take us through the teams from bottom to top,
Yep.
and we'll break it down.
Okay.
So, do you guys feel like you know where you think the Sharks are going to finish? Because I'm going to do a countdown. We have to say it together. So, do you guys think you know?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The San Jose Sharks. Last year, they went 19, 54, and 9 for 47 points, and they finished 8th. This year, they will finish 3, 2, 1. 7th.
8 again. Okay. But
Okay.
we're all in the same realm.
Yeah.
I want to say I love what the Sharks have done.
Yep.
No, I do too.
They got some of the best sweater get-ups in the game.
Yep.
And for a team that is about to finish what we all think is 7th or 8th, that has got to be the most exciting team that's going to finish towards the bottom 2 of their division that we've seen in a long time.
Yep.
Like this team, just quickly, the Sharks additions.
Dude, I was going to say this. Yeah.
Really good additions.
Will
Yeah.
Smith
Boom.
signs his, leaves BC,
Yeah.
signs his 3-year entry level deal. You scoop Barclay Goodrow, who was just a stud playoff performer for the Rangers.
And who has also already played for the Sharks.
Yep. So nice little homecoming.
Yeah.
You get Carl Grunstrom from LA. You get Jake Wallman from Detroit. Alex Wenberg signs a 2-year deal. Our boy Tyler Toffoli signs a 5-year deal.
Coming off back-to-back 30-goal seasons.
Yep. Ty Dellandrea just gets picked up from the Stars, signs a 2-year deal. Coming from a big-time winning culture.
Yep.
Great players surrounding him. You get Macklin Celebrini,
Yep.
first overall pick, he signs. Sam Dickinson, the 11th overall pick, he signs.
Yep.
You get Cody Ceci from Edmonton.
Who
and
be completely fine as a bottom pair D, by the way.
he could be second pair
Yep.
easily. And
Yeah, on
then
that team for sure.
the most recent one and huge one, you snagged Askarov. Like that is you have that young core, and now you add Askarov to that young core.
Yeah.
And listen, we've not seen Askarov be a starter in the NHL.
Right.
We've not seen Askarov really play in the NHL, but all signs point to him being fantastic. If he is really strong, my God, how could you not be beyond excited if you're the Sharks?
What's up with Logan? Will he ever play again? Couture?
Yes, but I don't believe he's starting the season, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. He's definitely playing again.
Yep. The Is it an eighth because of the strength of other teams, or is it an eighth because you're not buying the hype that just came out of his mouth?
I'm not buying quite all the hype that you were repeating.
Yeah.
Part of it is too, I think the other teams are going to be better.
I think that's bigger for me.
Yeah.
I think
the other teams are getting better as well as the San Jose Sharks, and other teams have made a lot of good additions along with them. I just think that the Pacific Division actually is getting better.
It's good.
It's getting a lot
Sneaky.
better.
It's really
Sneaky.
good.
It's improved a lot. Big time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
I think I wasn't trying to hype up all those
Yeah, no.
additions
Yeah.
as much as I was. We'll get into this next week when we do the Central.
Yeah.
It feels like Chicago, right? Like
Dude.
last year, Chicago's roster was, and I mean no disrespect,
Mm-hmm.
you look at their roster, and after the first 5 names, you were like, who are these people?
Yeah.
The Sharks weren't far off from
Yeah.
So to me, I'm more just saying they've got a roster now. Like they have a team now. And that's cool. I think that's exciting. And how much of that is like really young, exciting players?
No.
That's
Dude, well,
good
so
shit.
I'm with you because I genuinely felt like last year with the Hawks, you got Bedsy and a couple other guys, right? Like they brought in some fun guys
like
last year.
Holler,
but-
Foligno, Tyler Johnson
But,
was over there,
but
Seth
everyone
Jones,
from
yeah.
player like 6 down on the Hawks could have robbed a bank in Chicago, and then no one would have got him in the lineup.
Yeah.
They'd have been like this. They would have lined up 6 players and gone, I don't know who any of these people are.
No,
Take
it's
a walk.
true, and I will give credit to Greer. I mean, what he's doing, how he's adding in those veteran pieces like guys like Toffoli
Mm-hmm.
and Goudreau, and adding them in with Will Smith, Celebrini. Like
Yep.
that's only going to be beneficial. So he's doing it the right way.
So
Okay.
to me, they were exactly the Hawks with Will and Macklin, but then they also got Barkley and Wenberg
Exactly.
and like
Wen-
Toff.
Wenberg, Toff, too.
You know, and I was like,
CC,
oh, they
yeah.
kind of also filled out the middle too, without not just guys that were like, well, you were once a first overall and just
Yeah.
come be here. I was like, no, these are like middle 6 guys and
Yeah.
like second, third pairing D guys. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, interesting. And again, I don't think to the Sharks fans listening, you're not making the playoffs. Sorry, but you're going in the right direction. And I actually think they could surprise. Like we always talk about, that first quarter of the season. Like
Yeah.
they start a little hot because the boys are like Will and Macklin are playing loose or whatever. I'm like, they could surprise a few teams.
And that 5 through 8, I think, is going to be like.
Someone always tanks, dude.
Well, I think, but
like surprisingly,
but it might be one of those things where 5 through 8 might just switch every single game,
yeah,
right?
Yep, totally.
Because I
Totally.
think that there's a drop off in the Pacific Division
Mm-hmm.
where you have the elite, and then there's a little bit of a second tier, and those teams are all kind of in the same
Yep.
pack, right?
I do think our picks. We only said 7, so we didn't get that crazy. But I do think our picks are dependent on Askarov being good.
That's a big
Because I
one.
do think if Askarov stinks, and I think he's going to be good, but if Askarov stinks or is like, oh, I'm not quite ready, maybe he shouldn't say stinks. If he's like, oh, I'm just not ready for a full NHL workload yet
Yeah.
or whatever, then I'm like, oh, you're finishing 8th.
Yeah, for
and
sure, for
and that's
sure.
my bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sharks,
Okay.
pretty close, pretty
Okay.
close. Next up is going to be the Ducks. Do you guys feel like you know where you're going to put them?
I do. Tomer?
Yeah, I do. I think
Okay.
so.
The Anaheim Ducks, last year, they went 27, 50, and 5 for 59 points and finished 7th. This year, they will finish 3, 2, 1.
6.
Let's go, boys. We got a turkey.
Come on, boy.
We got
Come on,
turkey
boys.
on the Ducks at 6th, dude.
Yep.
I'm high on the Ducks, dude. I'm really high on the Ducks.
That's a team that I think is going to be better.
A
lot better.
Yeah,
A lot better. Yep.
I'm buying so much stock in the Ducks. The new jerseys too.
Yeah,
See that
helps.
reveal?
It helps. It helps.
They went
a lot.
back to the Mighty Duck logo.
Finally.
Finally,
Stuck
dude.
with the Orange County orange.
I need
Finally.
They got orange pants, dude. I wasn't ready for that. When
Yeah,
when the Sharks, was it 2 years ago, went all teal,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sick.
Mm-hmm.
The Ducks going to this orange and going, we're going all in, and went with the orange pants too. Very pleased. But the Ducks, man, I was high on them last year. I think it's a project.
Yep.
Their key things, Cutter,
Yep.
very surprising. Trade,
Crazy, dude.
gets sent over, leaves BC, signs his 3-year entry. Brian Dumoulin, our boy,
Yeah.
He goes down.
That's a great sign.
Dude, 'cause
Robbie
he's got
Fabry?
the experience.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great one.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the Dumoulin one.
I
a lot.
love the Dumoulin one.
I think he's a hell of a player.
Hell of a player. He's a guy, and like, what a perfect veteran stay-at-home defenseman to play with these young guys. Like,
But just like eats minutes, just plays the right way.
yep,
Like,
totally.
Has won cups.
Has
like,
played with Crosby. You know,
Yeah, knows what it takes. Has been around elite guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. Picked up Robbie Fabry from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I love Robbie Fabry. And then also that third overall pick with Beckett Seneca. Surprising pick. But
Yep.
Beckett signed. You know, I don't know if we'll see him day one, but
Yep.
that's another young player. But we've talked about it a ton. There's just so much young talent on this Ducks team, and it's so exciting. And I'm going to do what I did last year. I'm going to double down.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I believe in Trevor Zegras. I believe passionately in Trevor Zegras.
Thoughts?
Still skeptical.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I get that. I don't
I'm
want
still
everyone to
skeptical.
agree with me because I want to be able to celebrate
Yeah.
knowing that I was alone. I was on an island.
I want him to prove me wrong though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Like, come on.
And I
like,
love that.
You know, I'm not the only person that feels that way. There's a lot of people that are like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give me a little bit more.
Yep.
It's there. It's
just-
fucking there.
Dude,
It's
100%.
so there.
It's there. It's like, come on, let's go. You
That's
know?
the thing. It's like it's not like Zegras, you know, dominated at the dev program, dominated in college, but then was just like, he can't really figure it out. Like he has had
Tremendous season.
plus 60 point seasons
No,
in the
I'm not
NHL.
saying, I'm not saying he's been bad.
Yeah,
That's
he's
not the
young.
thing. It's just
He's
there's
so young.
there's more there.
Because
More.
the handles are there, the skating's there, the confidence is there,
There's
which is
more.
not you
Yep.
cannot teach. All I was going to say, Dan, is because I love him,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
rooting for him so hard. I think last summer, not that he was like fucking off, but last summer he's got the fucking contract shit. He's like on the cover of video games.
Yep.
There's just a lot of distractions
He's
in
dating
his
a
life.
TikTok star.
Yeah. This summer, only shit I'm seeing is like him working out. You know, he feels locked in. Feels locked in to me that I'm like, I like his chances this year much more than I did last year anyway.
I think Z is a happy-go-lucky kid, and I think because of the Michigans, I think he became a face of the NHL star too soon.
Yeah.
I
fair.
think his fame came before his performance,
Yeah.
if you will. And yeah, I think it distracted him. I think it distracted his camp. I think it distracted his team around him, not the Ducks, like his personal team around him. And I think he's heard all of the criticism last year, and I think he's matured because of it, and he's going to focus up, and he's going to have a fuck you season. And I can't wait.
It's fair. I mean, and I think about all his buddies that he's close with or around the league. Like,
Yep.
they're all having success, and
You know what I like too?
maybe it's one of those things where he's like, all right,
Yeah.
enough's enough.
Yes.
Enough's enough.
Yep.
Right?
I really like, and you can speak to this. Verbeek is a no nonsense guy. Like we have seen the last 2 years, especially. This fucking guy marches to the beat of his own drum. Like drafting, Carlson was a surprise. Everyone thought that was going to be Fantilli.
My son.
Yes, but he drafts Leo. Surprise. The Seneca draft was a surprise. He's made a lot of trades that have been surprises. I think the fact that Z is still on this team speaks to Verbeek being like, I believe in him too.
Love that, dude.
Where he's thinking the same thing. There's more there, and I'm not.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not giving up on it. yet.
Exactly.
Because-
I'm not letting go of this too
Because
soon.
I have other guys around him now that maybe he
Yep.
knows that, he recognizes it.
Because I think Verbeek hasn't. Well, this is a jump to conclusions, Matt. But I was going to say Verbeek hasn't really been wrong either. Because I think Fantilli is obviously incredible. So I'm not even saying Leo's better than him, but
Yeah.
it's
So
not
Leo's
like Leo's
special.
awesome,
But
right?
I think in the long run, Leo is
Crazy, dude.
like he's
I
going
think
to
he's
be.
Kobe, dude.
I was going to say he is.
I think
He
he's
is a
Kobe.
franchise. Like they are getting another Ryan Getzlaf
Yep.
Yep.
I think Leo will be.
for 15 years.
I think Leo will be the captain of this team
yeah,
in like
for sure.
3-4 years.
And then again, I'm jumping to conclusions, but like you bring in Cutter, and I'm like, I know Cutter's good. So
Oh
I'm
my
like, that's
God,
a great play. And I like his take on Bennett. And then you go, like to your point, he's keeping Zegras, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he hasn't really been wrong here. Let me say this too: Ducks acquired another thing in the offseason, or they attempted to acquire another thing in the offseason. Not sure if he's going to report to camp, report to the facilities or not, but it's a little thing called health. because the Ducks' top 6 guys never played together all year, dude.
So true.
Literally, it's insane.
Yeah.
When it was in Vetrano, it was Leo, it was Zeeg was out. Like it was insane, dude.
Yeah.
So if that group is just healthy,
Kessler.
they'll finish. Yeah.
Or Kessler, Jesus fucking Christ. Killer.
Killer.
Didn't play
Killer,
like
yeah.
a single game. It felt like.
if
And we
they-
haven't talked about Killer. We haven't talked about
Who's the
like,
D kid you
Troy
guys
Troy
are
Terry,
talking-
Frankie Vetrano, Minchikov,
so
Zellweger.
many other guys.
Minchikov and
that,
Zellweger are sick.
This team is 6th on health alone. Like if they just don't get hurt, this is a good squad.
and then like the number one backbone for their teams, John Gibson.
Yeah, Gibber, dude.
It's like
Gibber
he's
is
a stud.
with the addition with Minchikov getting a year under his belt,
Yep.
getting a year older.
Yep.
Zellweger, I think, stepping up into this role, and then like Doomer getting brought into this lineup. I'm really excited to see a Gibber season with a better defense in front of him, just a better overall team in front of him, healthy team, hopefully. I think people forget how good Gibber is.
Oh, he's elite.
And there were so many conversations last year of like, when's he getting traded? When's he getting traded? And he didn't get traded. So I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yep.
It's exciting.
Yeah, Ducks should go crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, next up the Kraken. You know where you're putting them?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The Seattle Kraken, the Seattle Spunk. Last year, they went 34, 35, and 13 for 81 points and finished 6th.
Yes.
This year, they will finish 3, 2, 1.
4.
Let's go. I thought it was going to be crazy.
This was
I thought
hard.
I was going crazy, dude.
Hard.
This one was hard, but
Oh, my God.
I just don't know, guys. I love the Kraken.
Yep.
The Seattle Spunk, dude. That's our team.
Yep.
They
But you have them up. You have them up a spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, up to
I
fifth.
think they're going to be good. And again, like we talked about, I think the Pacific's good.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
The Pacific is
It's
really good.
It's gotten a lot better.
I almost
Yeah.
went Ducks 5th, but it's a testament to the crack, like how good some of the teams we're about to name are. Like I was about to go crazy on the Ducks, but
Sure.
you're right. The Pacific is like log
The
jam.
Pacific is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with the Kraken. They really had 2 additions.
Yep.
They brought in Brandon Montour on a 7-year deal and Chandler Stevenson on
Yep.
a 7-year deal. I absolutely love both those players.
I think it's pivotal. 2 massive moves.
I think Montour is such an important addition. I mean, and let's also not forget, like those, a lot of people were like, the term's too long for those guys because they're a bit older. They're both 30 plus.
Yeah.
Maybe the AAV is a little too much. I disagree with both those things. I think they were necessary signings. I think for a team in its 3rd year in the league to be able to scoop up 2 of those big free UFAs, amazing.
Yeah.
2 guys who've just won Stanley Cups with teams full of veteran leadership. That's a great thing, no doubt. That said, you extend Matty Beniers to a 7-year deal. Huge, amazing, great. But I just think the Kraken maybe overperformed. Maybe a little
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yep.
A little young, dumb, full of spunk.
Yeah.
Overperformed, beat the Avs in the
Honeymoon,
playoffs.
like the honeymoon phase.
yeah.
Totally,
Yeah.
right?
The
Yeah.
honeymoon phase.
Yep.
Last year we had a bit of a slump. I think that was due to the fact a little bit Matty had a down year. Vince Dunn was hurt a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're in this spot now where I think Montour, Chandler are brought in. For me, Montour's always going to perform. Always. I'm not worried about Montour. The idea of putting him with Vince is like really exciting
Yeah.
to me. Chandler, I'm curious because you're not playing with Eichel, Stone, all these guys like Marchessault anymore. I wonder how is he gonna drive a line? There's just a lot of like guys who were, like Vince Dunn and McCann had monster years. Then they had a little bit slower of years.
Yeah.
Was that first year?
Yeah.
Was that their baseline or was that a honeymoon phase season? So there's just a lot
It's
of
the Mookie
those.
Betts thing.
There's a lot of those where I'm like, I'm not sure. And then goalie is Decord the guy?
Yeah.
Because like he's their guy, right? Like
hell yeah.
I don't think
think he
Grubauer's
is.
the guy. Like
No,
I think they're
I mean,
going.
it seems like Decord is their guy.
No.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In time.
I saw all I needed to see, dude.
Yeah.
It's Decord. Why do you have 4?
I also think that the new coach
bump, dude.
Come
on.
I think that's going to have a little bit of a influence as well, because you are going to have some guys come up from Coachella and make that team.
Yeah. I
Have
like that call.
Dan Bilesma as their coach, and there's going to be some guys are going to be comfortable playing for him, and I think
like
that goes
that
a
call.
long way. And I think the big one for me, like Chandler Stevenson, that is a bigger signing to me than I love Monty, and he is huge. It's a huge signing. Have bring him in as a D, and he's elite D. But I think the Chandler Stevenson one's even more important.
Yeah. I hear
It's
that.
like
How come?
I
Center
think
depth, dude. Like,
I think
huge.
he is like a Selke type of player.
Yeah.
Like he does everything. He wins faceoffs. He skates like the wind.
Yeah, he does,
He
dude.
flies. Like I think this guy is.
He's gritty too.
Like I think he is the driving guy on the line. Like your question was, like, can he drive the line? I think he was driving the lines in Vegas.
I love that.
I think he was the driver.
Yep.
Okay.
I think he's the guy that gets. I think like he is going to have a huge impact on whoever he's playing with.
Yeah. I love that.
Dude, I'm all about well, a couple things. On the signings first, I'm a little bit more skeptical than you, and I love both those guys. We know Monty well, obviously. I know Chandler a little bit. I love both those guys, and get your bag, boys. Congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
good for you.
But
good for
I'm a
both of you.
little skeptical on how those deals will age. But that's a fucking future spunk problem, baby. That's not spunk now problem. And I actually think they're going to be super valuable to that squad in the short term. And I hope they age well, but if they don't, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right now, I think they're going to be super valuable. So,
They're not bad. I mean, like in 7 years, 5 years, the cap's going to be over 100 mil.
Probably.
And these guys are making less than
Yeah,
8.
fuck
Like,
it,
They're
whatever.
fine. They're fine.
Decord is that boy, dude.
Okay.
I already know it. I already know it, dude.
Wow.
He's not going to be in the Vezina conversation, but he is legitimately going to be like
All-Star.
he could make an all-star team.
Wow, what a
He could make an all-star team.
fucking statement. I don't.
Talbot Cam made one from fucking LA. You know, like he could be
He
the
played
guy.
unreal, though.
I know, but Joey Decore's going to play Unreal.
Okay.
And then, dude, boys, I am team bounce back on Seattle. And I know it's a question because everyone kind of dipped. But like Matty Beniers, dude, are you kidding me? Ridiculous sophomore slump, which was my fault. I jinxed him fully. But he is going to be all the way back. McCann is a stud. Here, incoming 45. Vince, yeah, dude, boom, put that on the board. This is the Spunker team bounce back. And I think we're in a little bit of pendulum thing. It was they had that first year and everybody, because people got drunk on Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you start an expansion team, you go to the final. Seattle starts their team, stinks,
Yeah.
beats the Avs, stinks. Now they're a freight train again. That's life. That's life. We go back, we go forth.
No, you're right.
So I'm big bounce back, and they're going to need it for sure. They're going to need all those guys to be back in the form they were in 2 years ago if we're going to be right.
And stay healthy, obviously.
And stay healthy.
That's a big one.
Yep.
But I just think Decord's that boy. I think those are two good signings with good leadership that are going to be impactful right away.
Okay.
And I'm team bounce back. Give me fourth.
Okay. I like it.
And we gotta remember too who their GM is. Like that guy's smart.
Yep.
I
Ryan
mean,
Francis is
And
a smart guy.
And by the way,
very.
dude,
I think he has a little bit of that, that
yep.
Jedi,
dude, there
how he
should
builds a
be-
team like Stevie Y kind of thing,
Yes.
right? It has the same
Yes.
feel.
There should be a case study done on the Vegas Golden Knights and Seattle Kraken. The way that these two teams have just entered the league and just have had immediate
And been
success.
been competitive right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I will say too, and not throwing anyone under the bus, but if you remember, there were those reports when the coaching change happened that people weren't happy playing for the bench boss at the time,
Yeah.
and that can make a huge difference, right? Like
Totally.
just reinvigorated the board,
Totally.
you
Sure it
know.
does.
So I think that's a huge
Totally.
factor. Okay, Flames are next. You guys know where you have them?
oh, yeah.
The Calgary Flames, last year they went 38-39-5, also for 81 points, and finished 5th. This year they will finish 3, 2, 1.
10.
7. 10.
Is there a 10th place?
I thought, oh no, you had the Sharks 7 too. Yeah. Dude, I am low on the Flames, bro. And I feel bad.
I don't. I think it's I think the Flames have done everything right. I think the Flames got.
What do you mean?
This is what I mean.
Yeah, elaborate on that.
I think the Flames got hosed with Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau. Mm-hmm. Love to Johnny.
Yes.
And by hosed, I mean unlucky. It wasn't the
Flames' fault.
Nope, it wasn't the Flames' fault. It wasn't Matthew's fault. It wasn't Johnny's fault. They made incredibly respectful and well played out decisions for themselves. They let the team know. Johnny was like, I'm going to go to free agency.
Yeah.
I'd like to explore other things. And Matthew was like, hey, I'm not signing. Trade me.
Yeah.
They did the absolute best they could with what happened. I think you get back Huberdeau and Weegar for Tkachuk and pick, and that's great. That's good stuff. I think Weegar's been fantastic for the Flames. I think Huberdeau absolutely has not played like that season he had with Florida, but he's still a phenomenal player. You get Kadri after winning a cup with Colorado. Yep. They did everything right, and it just unfortunately did not work. You didn't get back into the playoffs. You didn't get back into that, battling to try to get to a Western Conference final. And you've now made tough decisions like trading Markstrom.
Yep.
You've made tough decisions like trading Tanev. You need to keep making those tough decisions. For me, Kadri, Anderson, Weegar are guys. We did this last year, Tomer. Last year we were talking about the Sharks.
Yeah.
And I went on a big rant being like, if you do not trade Thomas Hertl, you are morons. And we had some passionate Sharks fans coming in our DMs or coming in the comments being like,
Yep.
he just signed an 8-year deal, you moron, blah, 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 blah. What happened? Boom, he got traded. It's not me dancing on your graves. That's me saying sometimes business decisions
Situations
need to be made.
change. Yeah.
I look at Anderson, Weegar, and Kadri. I would honestly say Huberdeau too.
I was gonna say you have to add Huberdeau.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna have to make a decision on who it's gonna be.
Yes,
It's gonna
that's
be
what I'm
the
saying.
Innocent bystander of it's gonna be moved. It's gonna have to eat some salary.
Yeah.
Whatever it's gonna be, they're gonna have to. They are at a crossroads.
Yes.
And dude,
my take,
Anthony, what's his name? Mantha. How do you say his last name? Mantha.
Mantha.
He had, I wrote it down. He had 44 points, 23 goals last year. If he does that again, I could see them. He could be a trade deadline commodity.
Oh,
like
for
there
sure.
are
Yeah, he
people
will be,
going
yeah.
to be flying out the door.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, from like you just mentioned, Chris. Like they extended Sharon Govich, great. Mantha signs, Devin Cooley signs, and Dustin Wolf resigns. They didn't really do anything.
Yep.
Which again, I think is right.
Dude,
No, they're-
And you got Zary, who's a future star for that team. You've got some young guys. You had some great picks, but I do think they are maybe not quite as bad, but they're similar to where the Sharks were last year, where I'm like, you have some valuable veterans. This team's not making playoffs. If those guys are open to a trade, because they've all got variations of a no-move clause, begin it, guys. The rebuild is staring you right in the face. Embrace it. Shake its hand and embrace it.
I think you're right because I think Craig Conroy now gets to put his blueprint on the team.
Totally.
Yep.
Make
And
it
now
like,
it's kind of that transition where it's his now. Same thing with every GM when they come into a
Yep.
new organization. They have
Yep.
to have their blueprint, and now it's making it easier for him to do that.
yep.
Yes.
Iggy's in the organization again now. Like,
Yeah.
begin your.
Did they draft again? Did they get the defenseman that fell? Because I wanted them to
That's a
take
good
Iginla, but I can't.
I'll look that up.
Look
You
that
guys
up.
keep talking.
But what I was going to say, and I'm excited to see because Dustin Wolf's going to get some minutes in net now,
Yep.
and I'm excited for that.
Yep.
Truly, I just don't think this team this year can recover from losing Markstrom. And I'm not saying they lost him. Like they that was the correct trade. Like Dan said, rebuild it, dude.
For the future, they had to
100%.
do that. Yeah.
But I don't know that this team and this roster
Yeah, they
without
got-
an elite netminder can do anything.
yeah.
They got Zane Perrick. Who
yeah,
was,
Zane.
Yeah. He's a great player
Yeah.
and like wasn't a
Yeah,
drop
no, it
or
wasn't a
like,
big
he was
one.
just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
great pick. Yeah, I just you're right. Huberdeau does need to be in that conversation, but if there are teams looking for those guys, and what's crazy, man, I look at all four of those guys. Couture is an interesting one where last year you have Logan Couture and Thomas Hertl. Hertl was a guy that was like any team would want
Oh,
Hertl.
100%. Yeah.
Couture, I feel the same way, but
Same thing.
he's a bit older, sure.
Yep.
These four guys on Calgary, I'm like, any team going for a cup run is immediately way better with all four of them.
Oh, those are all great
Yep.
pickups.
Yeah. And I've just, with the way their roster looks, I have a massive antenna up for Kadri going back to Colorado. I think that they would
I think it would be genius, dude.
thrilled to have him back in that lineup.
How do they do that though?
That's the question. Might be some LTIR stuff.
There'd have to be definitely some finagling
Yep,
going on.
but
in the cap,
we don't know what's going on with Nishushkin because that's a lot of free space if that's
Right.
LTIR.
Yep.
For various reasons. But I just think Kadri back to Colorado is something to keep an eye on.
Especially because the Shushkin, Landy, like there's so many question marks in the lineup there. And Kadri knows the system. Like it would be
It'd be a
no
seamless
brainer if they
transition.
can make it work. No brainer.
Seamless.
I think he'd be pretty excited about that too.
But yeah, I my 10th place jab was meant to be a joke.
Yeah,
'Cause I
dude.
genuinely love the Flames,
Yeah.
but I do think they need to embrace 8th place, get a high pick, and begin this rebuild. Like you already did it. You did it with Tanev and Markstrom getting dealt. Like continue.
Why do you
Let's
like them?
get a new building too, please.
Oh
Bro,
Christ almighty.
Please. Please.
The tetanus going around in that build. Like build a
mean,
new barn.
I have a soft spot for the Saddle Dome for some reason. I always had my best games in the Saddle Dome
Okay.
for some reason. Really
Love
good
that.
games.
Love that.
But fuck.
Get a new building.
Like
It's literally
time.
falling
It's
apart.
time.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's like the igloo, the old igloo in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally
Jan's
falling
always
apart.
hated that place.
Unbelievable.
like get the boys a new locker room too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like come on.
But you're right. I think that this is like Conroy has a chance right now to make this his team.
Yeah.
Do it.
Dude, when you don't, no offense, Calgary, but when you are a place like that in the world and you can't give the boys sick facilities, I'm like,
Look at Edmonton with Rogers, dude. Like you need it.
to.
Tampa,
You have
Tampa
like
could be a dump barn and it's fine.
Yeah.
Because, it's no state tax and I live in Tampa and whatever.
Yeah.
But like at Calgary, you have to have.
you're up on the farm,
yeah,
dude.
come
You're
on.
up on the farm. All those fans are unreal. They love it so much. So you've got that in there. You got to give the boys a good facility.
Has to. You
Have
have
to.
to. Have to. It's Cowtown.
Why do you think they'll finish ahead of the Sharks?
Well, that's a good question.
Didn't think about that one, did
That's
you?
a really good question.
Did you have them 8th too?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
Flames
okay.
8th, yeah.
I think they will finish ahead of the Sharks because it's going to be close.
gonna be close.
I think
Yep.
it'll be tight. Like I said, I think the 5 through 8,
Yep.
it's going to change
Yep.
Yeah.
throughout the season. But I think that who knows? It's you never know. This
Yeah.
season, long
Yep.
season,
Yeah.
and
They do have gamers on their team.
they have
was gonna say,
gamers.
they
They
have
have a
gamers.
lot of offensive guys on their team that can make
Yeah.
plays.
And I'm
Like, those 4 guys I just
relying on a
named.
lot of young kids in San
Yeah.
Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, I'm like Askarov and Celebrini and Smith, and I'm like, well, they never played.
teenagers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
I honestly, I think it's going to be, like, completely honest, it's going to be close.
Yo, for sure. I have a saying.
7 and 8 is a
Yep.
coin flip.
Yep. Okay, next. Now let's get sticky, boys. Next one is the Vegas Golden Knights. You know where you're putting them?
Fuck, man.
I flip-flopped on this hard.
Yeah.
I got to say.
I think I do. Tomer, do you know?
I think so. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is.
I'm all over the place.
Me
on
too.
them.
I flip-flopped
am
hard on
too.
this.
I've been all over the place with them.
Last year, the Vegas Golden Knights went 45, 29, and 8 for 98 points, finished 4th, and made the playoffs. This year, they will finish 3, 2, 1, 3rd.
5. I love
I
that.
almost went 5. I had it in my fucking hand, dude. What did you
Actually,
say?
I'm switching. 4th. I'm going 4th.
What did you say?
3.
Okay,
I'm going
you're going
4.
4th. Okay.
I'm going 4. That might be illegal what I just did. but
No,
I'm going
no, I
4.
like it. I like
I'm
it. All right,
going
we've got
4.
this is cool. We got a 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
We got a 3, 4, 5. I'll go first because I got them 3.
Okay.
I am terrified of some of the departures for sure.
That's one of them. Yeah.
And dude, I think in one of our convos, maybe it was even the episode we did when like who could miss.
Yeah.
I said Vegas.
You did.
So like, believe me, I am all over the map with these guys. Marchessault is a killer, dude. Like that's a lot of goals going out the building. Stevenson, like we got issues. Some of the people that came back in, like maybe Holtzy breaks out finally and kind of lives up to that potential, maybe. So they're like, oh, we don't mind losing some of these guys as much. Samsonov, like, don't even get me started to replace Logan, kind of in that, because the tandem is a thing, right? Like Logan played fucking great last year in
Yeah,
that period.
yeah.
To maybe till the end of the year, but like early in the season, he played awesome. For me, it's you hope for some better health. ignore the long-term IR jabs, but like you hope for some better health because they've been banged up, and they have guys that are banged up. So I'm saying like get lucky that Jack stays healthy all year. Get lucky that Stoner can play all year. So 1, get lucky with health. 2, I believe in Aiden Hill big time. I just think he's nasty, and like he won a cup 2 years ago, and then when he was in there was playing sick last year, like had fucking ridiculous goals against. And then, dude, the reason I went 3, because I backed myself in the corner with my spunk at 4, so it was kind of like a 3 or 5 situation. The reason I went 3 is, God, that team just seems to find a way every fucking year.
Oh my gosh,
like I don't know what it is. But it's like every year I'm like, oh, they figured it out. They did what they had to do to get to where they needed to go.
Not to mention the Vegas flu, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that is always going to be helpful.
But a dangerous 3, though. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a dangerous 5.
Yeah.
Go the same way. For me, it's the departures.
Killer, dude.
Like, those are huge departures.
Totally.
I mean, I honestly think Chandler Stevenson, he is a Selke type player.
I love this.
You lose him down the middle, and that's
I love this.
huge hole.
It feels like the cap finally caught up to him, right? Like this was the year that you're like, hey, dude, all your bullshit, now you're paying for it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I think, too, losing Marchessault.
Yep.
Like, you don't have that guy in the playoffs. Like, think about
40 goals.
remove Marchessault from their team in playoff runs.
Yeah, the last 2 years,
Jack.
dude.
Think about it.
And you got Jack, and that's it.
And then Jack, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
So I just think that, and then I just
Also, dude, no one's mentioned, like, losing Martinez is no
huge. I was just gonna
yeah.
say that. I was just gonna say losing Marty, and then they have to stay healthy, and they haven't proved that they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's too many question marks, and I just look at all the other teams, and I just think that they're gonna be better.
Yeah.
The other top 3, I think, will be better.
You know what's interesting, and this goes into what we've been saying about the Pacific, is I agree with both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Vegas is tricky, dude.
I know.
I agree with both. So I like that I'm now positioned in the middle. Everything you've both said is so true. I think the losses are tough.
Yep.
Huge losses.
I like Samsonov coming in because similar to Corpy in Boston,
Yeah.
I think Samsonov is coming in and they're going, you're part of a tandem,
Yep.
but you're the backup.
Yep.
You're going to play
Yeah.
35 games this year, barring injury. And I think that's good for someone like
Yeah,
Samsonov.
good
I
point.
think he goes like this. Great.
He's like, okay.
I don't have the pressure of being a starting goalie in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what happened to Freddie Anderson when he went to Carolina after leaving Toronto. Immediately
Yeah.
became a star goaltender.
Yep.
I think Samsonov could be the type of guy who's like, this is great, dude. I'm in Vegas. Everyone's fucking happy here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. No state tax. I'm the backup. He could be phenomenal.
Yeah, dude.
Also,
Wait, this is sick, dude.
don't-
Toronto sucks.
True.
don't
Very true.
don't sleep on the fact that they also got Akira Schmid from New Jersey.
Yeah.
So that's another one that's like, I don't think Schmid's going to play that much. He's probably going to be playing for the AHL club a bit.
Yeah.
But like, that was a guy who people last year were like, he's the starter in New Jersey all of a sudden.
Yeah.
If something happens, as it tends to do with the goalies in Vegas,
Yeah, right.
he's not a bad third option. I agree. I believe in Aiden Hill. I think Alexander Holtz is a great player.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm excited to see him. Again, everyone talks about Vegas as this like wild card team. I don't mean positionally. I mean personality-wise.
For sure,
They do
they're-
crazy shit.
Yeah.
But they're stacked with veterans.
Yeah.
They've got insane playoff experience. They've got cup winning experience. A guy like Holtz in there, I'm actually very interested to see how he'll do. And you look at the open spots, he has an opportunity.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
he
yeah.
is not log jammed like he was in Jersey. He's going to play.
Yep.
And then the other one, the pickup of Victor Olofsson.
Nice.
Again, how many times in the last few years have we seen a guy with seemingly a lot of raw talent leave Buffalo and then fucking pop off?
Like,
And there's
Play.
how many years did him and Eichel overlap?
I think
Oh, true.
2.
2 years?
yeah, yeah.
All of a sudden, you put Victor Olofsson on Jack Eichel's wing. You might be seeing a Carter Verhaeghe. You might be seeing a Sam Reinert type season.
Yep.
No, I don't mean Sam Reinert last year. I mean like that 70-point year. You might see it.
Yep.
But to what you've both said, I do think this is the year where they're not going to get away with and I don't mean LTIR shit. I mean literally surviving the injury shit.
Yeah.
Like this season.
Because you think you're sure they'll get hurt. You'd be like, they will
No,
get
no,
hurt.
no.
Yeah.
I'm saying if guys get
Got
if
it.
if
Yeah.
Stone doesn't play at least 65 games, if Eichel doesn't play at least 70 games,
It will catch up to
they
them.
will miss
Yeah,
playoffs.
I agree with that.
This is
Yeah.
for me is the year like
I agree with that too.
Shea Theodore, Jack Eichel,
You got to play, boys.
our boy, Mark Stone, you guys cannot get Aiden Hill. You can't get hurt this year. If you get hurt, the Pacific's too good. You're missing playoffs.
I was just gonna say,
So like this year, they need to stay healthy. If they don't stay healthy, no LTIR will save them. They're toast.
Yep. Yeah, that is. I think that's correct. I like the opportunity. I'll just say this about the Vegas team for the last couple years, and I love this about them. They're fucking top point scorers. Like got 70 points. You know, like it's not like you're like, oh, dude, if I lose a Matthews, there goes 130 points and we're fucked. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like this team kind of just goes, we're all going to score between 60 and 40 points, and that's why we're good.
Yeah.
It's committee, but that's where I think the question marks I have is you lose Marchessault, you lose Chandler Stevenson, and like that's a lot less
Totally.
scoring.
Right,
Totally.
but at least I'm not trying to replace 120. I'm trying to replace 70.
Yeah.
You know, because it kind of goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
Like those are two huge cogs of the committee, but maybe the committee can lift someone into that spot. But yeah, it'll be tricky.
I just think they can't, like, what is it? The last couple of years, they've kind of like, okay, we're gonna just coast through the regular season, get there, and then playoffs.
Last year
turn it
especially.
up. You know what I mean? You can't do that.
Yeah.
and it's gonna catch up to them. Like, I just don't think they can do that again.
Good. One other thing, I'm not sure you could probably speak to this more, how relevant this is, but I do think last year people take for granted that they were coming off the cup. Like that's a long
for sure.
season, you know, cup hangover. This year they're out in the first round. The boys got their dings fixed, you know, and whatever. So I think that matters a little bit.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Yep.
Los Angeles Kings. You know where you're putting them?
Yes.
Los Angeles Kings last year, they went 44, 27, and 11 for 99 points, finished third, and made the playoffs. This year they will finish 3, 2, 1. Fifth. 2. And I want a caveat on my fifth, and this will be confirmed once we do the Central. I have fifth, but still playoffs.
That.
Because I think both are coming. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have some takes in the
Tom
Central.
or I need you to take this one away.
2, dude.
I will start with 2.
I fucking love that. I
will start
last year,
with
bro.
the fact that they were able to trade Pierre-Luc Dubois to Montreal and not eat any of that contract is
It
Addition
is,
a
by
magician
subtraction.
move.
it is truly like some of the best work you'll ever see.
Magician
Yep.
move.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get Darcy Kemper back,
Mm-hmm.
who, as not saying Darcy Kemper is an elite goalie in the league,
Right.
but he's a solid goaltender that will make the save at the right time, like he did when they won a cup with Colorado
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
3 ago.
Not
Yeah.
that long
No.
ago.
Yeah.
The Kings also added, who else did they add? They added Janot.
Yeah,
Fogel.
I'll give you
Fogel.
their
Edmondson.
big moves. Well, hold on.
Edmondson, another one that I think
There's-
that's going to be a huge factor in their decor.
Their quick rundown for the offseason.
Yeah.
Akil Thomas signs a 2-year extension.
Okay.
I know you're going to get into him.
Yep.
Kemper picked up for PL, massive. Turcotte extends 3 years. Kyle Burrows picked up from the Sharks. Tanner Jeannot picked up from Tampa. Warren Fogle signs a 3-year deal in UFA. Joel Edmondson signs a 3-year deal. Quentin Byfield extends 5 years. Jordan Spence extends 2 years. And they've got Kaliev still, who needs to be signed.
Yeah, which I think
gets done.
I think it does
any
too.
minute.
yeah, that'll get done. But I just think that all of those guys you mentioned, Akil Thomas, Jordan Spence, Quentin Byfield, you add Jeannot. He's obviously a guy that's probably coming in here proving, okay, I had an off year in Tampa. I have to get going again, how I was in Nashville.
Bro, he's sturdy.
Oh,
we
he's
just
a-
met him,
and he's a killer.
He's the man.
And he's a killer.
Fucking
Tomer.
bro.
They need a guy like that. They have that, and then you have Kopi, and you have Juice, and you have all the other guys, Morsey, all these guys. Like, I do think that this team, I think that they are elite. I think that there is something there that.
They should. Yeah, they're
And
sick, dude.
they have Hiller now as the coach. He comes in. New
Yeah.
coaching staff comes
Yep.
in. I mean, I just think that there's something there with the additions they made. No offense to Pierre-Luc Dubois, but there was no fit there for him.
Nope.
Yep.
It didn't work.
Nope.
And it did something with their lineup where it just it made it all change.
And he felt that too, right?
Yeah,
Like he was
for
always
sure.
like there was no consistency with the thing. Now we can get locked in.
Yeah, I think now you take him out of the equation. Phil Deneau has a better year. Everyone has better years, and I think the Kings finished second.
Okay, I'm going to go
Yeah,
because I had
please.
third.
God, nothing would make
I
me
fucking
happier.
love everything you just said. I am definitely a bit biased, so I'm going to put that out there right off the bat. First and foremost, the PL situation. That was, Caps fans they're drinking the Kool-Aid saying that PL is going to turn into an 80, 90-point guy right away with that.
I hope he does.
I hope he does too.
Hope he does too.
But ultimately, with how even if he does do that, this was a good trade by Blake because it was just not working, and it was never, frankly, going to work. So getting rid of that right before his no move kicked in, not eating any of that contract is monumental.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Blakey was kind of up against it in terms of feeling the heat, fans on his ass about PL not performing. Some people didn't like the trade. They're screaming at him. This recent interview that just came out, I don't know if you two have seen this. Last season, Rob Blake, at 54 years old, had to put on full gear and go out to a practice and show PL how to like play tough and fight for pucks. Yep. That, to me, earns Blake so many points. Of like you talk about GMs who don't care about the success of their team. Are you fucking kidding me? That's one of the coolest stories I've ever heard.
It was fucking awesome.
So I love that. To get that move done, PL, credit to him, that's our guy. He has been so mature in his interviews recently. He was like, it's my fault it didn't work. Mm-hmm. He's excited for his new chapter. I'm excited for him. But he was like, it wasn't working. I was never going to fit there. So it is what it is. I'm sorry and whatever. So good job. I love the Tanner Jeannot pickup.
Oh, I think it's such a good pick.
I love the Joel Edmondson pickup.
Yeah.
For Fogle, too.
I love the Fogle pickup.
Yeah.
I look at that, arguably their most consistent line last year of Phil Deneau and Trevor Moore. Now they've got an opening on that wing. Plug in Warren Fogle, plug in Tanner Jeannot and that. And like, that's a dirty third line that people are playing against. For me, I love those pickups. I completely agree on the Darcy Kemper thing. Last year, you have Cam Talbot playing out of his shoes. Mm-hmm. And how old's Cam? 38? 37, 38?
No, it can't be that.
36, 37. Yeah, you're probably...
I think he might be...
Probably right around there. Yeah, you're right. 37, he might be, yeah.
That is a older goaltender who had no plans on being a starting goaltender, who then stepped into that job and then became an all-star, and then obviously slowed down a little bit.
Yep.
Darcy's 34. Won a cup 3 seasons ago.
They have Phoenix Copley, too.
They have Phoenix Copley, who, by all accounts, people thought was going to be the guy. And then what I really want to talk about, boys, is a young man named Eric Portillo.
Oh,
who just signed with the Kings. My boy from Michigan, playing insane. And we talk about Yaroslav Askarov. Everyone talks about him. Oh, the next big star. The Sharks just got him. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me read you my guy, Eric Portillo's numbers last year in the AHL, which I will tell you are better than Yaroslav Askarov's numbers.
Which, as you guys know, I saw a lot of.
In the AHL. For the Ontario Reign, .918 save percentage, 2.5 goals against. Better numbers than Askarov last season.
Sick.
Portillo is very good. And, they've got a lot of goalies. Riddick is still on the
I got to give a shout out, too, to the goalie coach that helped Adam Brown.
Yep, great. That's sick.
Great job with Eric Portillo.
Portillo's fantastic, and that really excites me. But I just think Kemper is like,
Portillo's not playing this year, though, right?
No,
probably not.
Yep.
But at the same time, like,
I'm excited about it. I just don't know.
The only thing I could see possible this year for Portillo is maybe he get a couple games, call it backup, whatever. Maybe one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's no. I don't.
Frankly, if he's playing with something bad happened.
There is one player I forgot I want to talk about though. Is Akil Thomas.
Yes, that's what I was about to get to.
Okay, go ahead.
Like last year, and I want you to jump in.
Yeah.
Like last year, everyone went, time's up for Quentin Byfield. And what did he do? He motherfucked everyone. And had an amazing year and earned his extension. I think with some of the clear outs, some of these guys like Grundy getting moved, there's space, obviously PL, there's space in this roster. And on the defensive side, last year you saw it with Spenny. Anyone who watched Kings hockey the last part of the season, seeing the way Jordan Spence plays,
awesome.
Holy shit.
He's a player.
He's a player. I think Mikey Anderson is coming into a year where he needs to stay healthy and play 82 games, and I think he's going to. And I look at a guy like, you get that Joel Edmondson, that 6'5" shut down defenseman body on this team with a 3-year contract. He knows he's not a suitcase anymore. Mm-hmm. LA wants him there for 3 years, and you put him with a guy like Mikey or a guy like Spenny. I like Mikey playing with Dewey.
And Edmondson's tough too.
Edmondson's tough.
He adds mean
Yes.
adds more meanness on that blue line too.
So I really love, like, you've got this like big shutdown guy to play with these quick puck moving guys. That's beautiful. But then Akil, you talk about guys who can fly. Holy fuck, man.
Sick.
So I just
and
think,
shoot the puck.
yes.
I don't know if everyone realizes how well Akil Thomas can
Yeah.
shoot the puck. Kid can shoot the puck, but he has an all-around game. And people that don't know Akil Thomas, he was second-round pick, I believe, but he's had a tough go. He had back-to-back shoulder surgeries.
God.
Right, so he's had. I mean, if he didn't have these surgeries and he was out missing a time, he probably would be in the league earlier.
Yeah.
Right, but he gets his chance last year, and he's an NHL player. I've gotten to see him play a lot, and he's got something where he's going to be a very good all-around NHL player.
We were with him a week ago.
Yeah.
He looks good. He's got some more size on him.
And he's a pro's pro.
Yeah.
Like he works his nuts off.
But
like,
what's interesting about this Kings team, and again, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. These aren't just drafted teenagers. These are guys who are like 24 years old. And on the defensive side, you've got Spenny and you got Mikey that I'm just so excited for their seasons. But then on that offense, I'm looking very, very significantly at Akil,
Yep.
Kaliev when he gets signed, Turcotte, and then LaFerriere.
Yes, it's another one.
Laugh, I think it has a big year coming.
Yeah, dude. All the potential's there. Honestly, when I was looking at this breakdown, I was like, the two teams we haven't mentioned and Kings and Vegas probably in the top 4. But it feels like there's always one shock. Like someone's like, "What? How did that happen?" Which is why I picked Kraken 4, because I was like, maybe there's a surprise. But then I get in my Kings Vegas, someone's got to be 5. But I really think I'm not preaching to the choir here, but there is incredible potential in this Kings roster. It's not a Seattle. You can get in, but a lot has to go right. It's like, boys, just fucking play your games. Maybe goaltending goaltending is the question mark for me, where I'm like, it can go wrong there. You know what I mean? If Kemper's like, oh, I actually, Father Time snuck up on me. Phoenix is like, yeah, I'm what I was last year. I'm not quite it. If there's all these issues, then I'm like, yeah, you're probably 5th. And that's not good. But if you get goaltending, all the potential's there on this roster.
And it's interesting too. Do they, as a new coach comes in, talk about systems? Do they play the 1-3-1 this year?
Oh, true.
Maybe not.
Yep.
Maybe not. He comes in, he's the new head coach. Maybe they don't play that 1-3-1. It changes the system a little bit.
Yep.
But maybe they're faster because of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that.
Yeah.
And they've been together now. Some of those guys, that core group of guys, have been together now for a while. It's like they know it's time, right?
Yeah. Didn't even talk about all the vets, but like obviously Dewey, Kopi,
Not
Juice.
slowing down at all. Juice going to go off this year.
Yeah, 50 goal season.
What was the
for-
thing I
for
found?
Juice.
73.5 points
Yeah,
on
it's
BetMGM.
smashing the
Is
over
that
on
what
that.
he's 73?
73.5. Dude,
Smashing that over.
bro.
Take the over for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a house, dude.
50 goal Juice season incoming.
Boom, dude.
Called it last year, just missed.
Yeah, Kev going to go off too.
Well, we love
Kev.
the Kings.
Yeah.
We love
we?
the Kings. High on
Yeah.
the Kings.
Yep.
All right, who's next? Taking a quick break to talk to you guys about our betting partner, BetMGM. It's without a doubt the best sports betting app in the game. It's the best because it has everything you could ever imagine. Any game that you could possibly wish to bet on, whether it be Cambodian shuffleboard or an NFL game, you get to do it. And here's the thing. With Empty Netters and our promo code NETTERS, you get the best deal in the world. You can bet up to $1,500 on BetMGM on anything you want. And if you lose it all, guess what? BetMGM gives it right back to you and you can do it all again. There's no better deal that exists. So make sure you get BetMGM, use that promo code NETTERS, NETTERS, and you will get that hookup. We're getting dialed into hockey season coming up here. We're going to have all the picks for you. We're doing our division predictions in the next few episodes here, so you're going to be able to get some nice future bets on all of that stuff. We're also dialed into the NFL. Everything is going our way right now, so make sure you get in on the action because this is can't miss stuff with BetMGM. Don't be a fool. Get on that app and get cooking. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. First bet offers for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Pausing the pod really quickly to talk to you guys about our new sponsor, Everyman Jack. Everyman Jack is the OG clean men's care company. They got everything. everything. I'm talking deodorant, body wash, hair care, beard care. I've been rocking the Crimson Oak body wash, smelling fantastic, loving it, because we're not trying to scare women. We're trying to attract women. You know, that's why we use Everyman Jack. So check this out. They have an awesome offer right now. If you use promo code NETTERS, that's NETTERS, you get 25% off at checkout when you go to everymanjack.com. This place is amazing because they're using naturally derived ingredients, no harsh chemicals at all, okay? And it's outdoor inspired. So I'm talking cedarwood, sandalwood, Pacific cypress. It's going to make you feel like you're an outdoorsy guy, even if you aren't an outdoorsy guy, okay? And listen, the flow is coming back. It's hockey season, so I've been using the grooming cream. My girl loves it, so you got to check that out if you're rocking the long hair. But they got the product that you need for anything in the men's grooming business. Everymanjack.com, promo code NETTERS. Okay, next up is the Edmonton Oilers. Do you know where you got them?
I do. I do.
The Edmonton Oilers, last year, they went 49, 27, and 6 for 104 points, finished second, and made the playoffs. This year, they will finish 3, 2, 1. First. I knew you were going to say 2.
No.
Stupid bitch.
I actually have them. You can see it. I have them 1 right here.
Wow, you're right.
And I knew you were both going to say 1, so I'm just trying to.
You were, yeah.
Just trying to spice it up.
You're
a little
going
bit.
against us. That's okay.
But my 2, and again, I think it's probably 1.
No, not necessarily.
My 2 pick is strictly on. I think a lot of them are going to be exhausted.
I like that.
That was a fucking crazy.
I like
one.
that. Take, Dan.
And I think they also know now they can do it.
Ooh, okay. Play a little possum. Play a little Kansas City
I think
Chiefs
it's
last
a
year.
boys.
Coast a little bit.
I think Connor McDavid getting to Game 7 of a Stanley Cup final was so good for the monkey off the back, if you will. And I think that is going to be a big, like, we don't need to win, guys. Like, it's great. Great if we get home ice, but we don't need it.
But we might have liked it in Game 7.
Might have liked it. So their moves, sign Victor Arvidsson to a 3-year deal.
Boom.
Pick up Jeff Skinner after he was bought out by the Sabres.
He might score
1-year
70.
deal.
Skinner might score 70
Good
goals
pickup.
next year.
Adam Henrique comes back. Obviously, the huge one, Draisaitl extends.
Yep.
That we always talk about, dude.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
The distraction of that is great to avoid. Love that you're not going into the season being like, uh-oh. Like, if you start slow and Dry's not re-signed, people freaking out. I think the one that not enough people are talking about is the fact that they
Corey Perry.
fucking somehow... Yeah, Corey Perry's gone back.
The worm.
They somehow fucking swindled Matty Savoy out of Buffalo.
Yeah.
And that... I
Dude,
will say
Buffalo's
again,
just
like
the feeder program.
dude,
for the rest of
I
the
will
league.
say again, like the Olofsson thing, like, Matty Savoy's now all of a sudden playing with fucking Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and all these guys. Insane. Not to be understated, the losses of
Yeah, dude.
Fogel
Yeah.
and then the surprise losses of Broberg and Holloway
yeah.
are
CC.
not great. And CC.
Here I have him 1 because, and you said this to me, I forget what we were talking about in the car the other day, but there's just too many stretches in a regular season where McDavid is just fucking nuclear.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like this year, last year, they won 18 games in a row. There's just like, he's going to score 130 something points plus. You know, like he's going to score. We keep joking, like 2 years ago was his goal season, right? And then this year he was like, wait, should I pass it? Is that how we'll win? And now I'm afraid this year he's going to be like, I'll just do both. He's going to score 60 goals. He's going to have 120 assists. It's nothing like which we've never seen. They are too talented. The couple guys on their team are too talented for them to just not rack up wins, I think, even in coast mode. Right? Like, it feels like McDavid could even be like, I am coasting. And I'm like, yeah, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Now, all my concerns I have about this squad, I have. And unless changes are made at the deadline, they will not be my Stanley Cup pick. I just think the problems they have rear their head in the playoffs more than they do in the regular season.
Agree. I think it's because of the way the teams play against them. It's like it's just a different battle. I believe I am bought in, but there are so many ifs on that team. Is Jeff Skinner going to realize he's playing with two of the best players in the world and have a 80-point Jeff Skinner season.
He's fucking better.
He'd fucking better.
Because
dude.
if not,
Fucking
That's
better
tough.
know who he's playing with.
Yeah.
is Arvidsson going to be healthy for the first time in his life?
Yes.
I would love that. I would love.
I think they are Tommers.
I love Arvidsson. I would love that.
Is Hyman going to score?
Is Hyman going to
50
score
fucking goals
50 again?
Yeah.
Is Stu Skinner going to be out of his head and
Play great.
play well? And then what is the defense? I think that's a huge one.
Yeah.
What is that defense?
Well, repeat the defense. Let's talk about them.
Nurse
Okay.
has not been playing well.
Okay.
Bouchard is up for like he's gonna 80. He scored 80 points.
That's their
Like,
guy.
That's fucking sick.
That's their guy.
Yep. He's so good.
Broberg, Gonzisi, who plays E for them?
That's what I'm saying. Like, read off their defense.
Let me get their lines up.
Kulak.
It's just
I
a.
think of who else. Why am I blanking on some of their names? But
It's just.
Ekholm, obviously. Ekholm, Bouchard,
Ekholm, it's a big one.
Nurse, Emberson, Kulak, Stetcher.
I mean, I think
After the top pair, you're like,
I mean, and Ekholm's great.
yep.
Ekholm's 34.
Yep.
I would say, but both Bouchard and Ekholm eat a lot of minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
They
dude.
eat and same with Nurse too. He
Yep.
eats like hard minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My take
Yeah.
is you thought like the coast, they're gonna cruise a little bit. I think complete fucking opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
All gas, no
pedal
brakes.
to the fucking metal this
Love
year.
it.
Like I think Leon, yeah, he got paid, and Connor, but they are like, and then you add Victor Arvidsson,
Yeah.
who I've skated with before. This guy is
I
a
love
fucking lunatic.
Yeah, I love him.
He is so dialed. This guy wants to win so bad. He's an unbelievable hockey player, as you guys know.
Yeah.
You've seen him.
Yep.
Then you add, I don't think Hyman's going to score as many goals as he did last year, but that guy's a machine too.
I think he is.
He could.
He might.
but
He
I fucking
might get
think right
50.
there.
He might. Who knows? Like,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
just think that these guys, like, I think that Connor and Leon, it is nothing but cups now.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
it.
I think Leon.
That's a fact.
I think,
Cups. That's it.
I don't, honestly, I don't even think this has anything to do with his contract. Leon is my pick for MVP this year.
Dude, I am a huge Leon.
I
Love
think,
that,
I think Dry is going to just like have a. I feel a sense of like zen with Leon right now, with like so yeah, it does have to do with extending, but I just think. I think he heard some of the chirps about his playoff or his cup performance.
And-
I think he signs that deal after all the talk about him maybe leaving. I think he's got some new toys to play with in RV and Skinner. Who knows where they're all going to play?
Yeah.
But like, I think he has this like, I am what I am, dude. And I
Yeah.
think he's going to just have a dominant year.
And what do we see every year? Every year, like we see, like Florida the year before,
Yeah.
right? They go to the finals. They learn. It's like, fuck, this was hard.
Yeah.
We lost. Same thing. Edmonton, they go to the finals. They learn a ton of shit by playing against Florida.
Yeah.
They lose. And Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Darnell Nurse, Evan Bouchard, Ekholm, like their core group of guys there. Now you add Corey Perry too. You have all these guys that are there still. Those guys are fucking motivated and they're mad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like think about their training camp right now. All those guys are there. They're getting dialed. They're getting ready.
Yeah.
Like they are mad.
Bro, it's Monty when he was on said that when they went, remember they lost game 5 like $1 billion
Yep,
nothing.
yep.
He said because his shoulder was banged up in the second like when it went to 6-1 or something.
Yep.
He flagged the trainer on the bench in the game and he's like, "Yo, schedule my surgery for Friday." It was Wednesday. Because they were already like, we are winning next year, right? We heard that from the Panthers a million times. So I hear you on
Yep.
on like the only talk all summer in Edmonton
That's
is
it.
like we are remedying that.
And you're
Yeah.
seeing it already, man. Like, look at all the talking heads. Who's your too early Stanley Cup winner prediction? Everyone's saying Edmonton.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yep.
I'm saying like I think a lot of people can feel this.
Ain't gonna be no 2-11 start this year.
It just feels different with them than it has the last couple of years. I don't know. Do you guys? I mean, it just feels different with Connor, with Leon, what they're doing, what they did last year, what they're going into this year.
It feels like those movie moments where you think the bad guy takes a big shot from the hero, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, and then the bad guy just like wipes the blood off their mouth and stares at you, and everyone goes, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That is how I feel right now.
Exactly.
Like we woke up the monster is
Yeah.
how I feel. Like I think Edmonton is There is an aura, there is a vibe around those guys. Leon extending, immediately shutting down all the speculation. That is such a fuck you to the talking heads, us included. Like we never said anything on the airwaves that Leon would go, but all of that talk has been silenced before the season even starts. It's like, you think Connor's fucking going anywhere? Give me a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got Connor and Leon for the next fucking decade.
And however many cups they end up winning.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah. It's
they're set up for it.
And dude, all that talk,
sure
like we
are.
were doing the shit at the golf tournament, like, when it's all said and done, Crosby or McDavid, and everyone's like, well, McDavid needs the cups. The comment section going crazy. Like, how can you, not even a comparison? Crosby has 3 cups. And I'm like, well, now you here's your chance, dude. Like,
Here's
you
your
have
chance.
because he knows I gotta win a couple if I'm gonna be in this conversation.
Sure.
I can't fucking Dan Marino myself and be
Yeah,
like,
you
I'm
don't-
one of the goats. I'm like, dude, you never won a fucking cup.
You don't think Leon, they're both thinking the same thing,
Yep.
or they're talking about that, or maybe
100%.
maybe it's and it's unsaid. Like,
Yep.
if you want to be one of the best,
Yeah.
you have to do that. You have to win.
Yeah, and say what you will. My last thought. Say what you will about the guy, but Stan Bowman is a guy who has won cups. He knows what to do and knows how to be cutthroat to win cups.
Oh yeah.
He's already on his bullshit. I don't know if you saw. He made some statements about the Broberg and Holloway thing. He was like, "Yeah, it is what it is. Massive overpay for Broberg. Like he's just shit talking his player from 2 weeks ago, openly in the media." Which, tactic to make it sting a little bit less. But
Yeah.
if you don't think he is motivated to be like, at the deadline, I am going to get
That's what I mean.
a Rasmus Anderson or Mackenzie Weegar. Like,
And that's
if
what
they
I-
add one fucking defenseman to
Yep.
that team and Stuart Skinner is playing well,
And I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
they
it
know
has to.
that. I think they know
know.
that they're setting themselves up where they have to add someone at the deadline or a few pieces at the deadline, whatever it may be, wherever they're at,
No
wherever
doubt.
they're at that point.
No doubt.
But
Last one, Vancouver Canucks. So you must know where you're putting them.
yep.
yeah,
The Vancouver Canucks, last year, they went 50, 23, and 9 for 109 points. They finished first and made the playoffs. This year, they will finish 3, 2, 1.
3.
Second.
One.
What'd you have?
3.
Oh, 3 because you're the Kings. Yeah. Okay. Dan, I feel like you're 1, and you'd be happy, honestly. You've always been banging the Canucks drum.
Yeah, I have it written down here, Oilers 1. And I flipped it to 2 there for the purposes of the discussion. I think Vancouver is going to be 1-2 with Edmonton. I love your all gas, no brakes thing for
Me too.
Edmonton. Honestly, makes me be like, yeah, they are 1. How I could see Vancouver being 1. I think a lot of people are, I don't know why it became like this popular narrative online to be like, they're gonna fall off.
Yeah, right. Well,
And
it's
I
like the
don't
Devil's
get
thing,
that.
right? It's
I don't
the
think there's going to be a huge drop off.
Yeah, I think it is the devil's
Yeah.
thing. And all of this is Thatcher Demko
of course.
dependent.
Of
So,
course.
like, let me say everything I'm about to say is dependent on Thatcher Demko being okay. If he is not healthy, then we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
But let's say he is healthy. Because he's young and he's amazing.
That's so funny. Whenever you say Vancouver, I just think of Thatcher Demko right away.
Yeah.
Right? So this is not when New Jersey came out of nowhere and had that fucking season, Vitek Vanacek is playing
Yep.
like a Vezina winner. Thatcher Demko was not a surprise. He has always been good. He will always be good. So if he is healthy, I think we're right back in business. So my whole thing about like people being like, oh, they're not going to be as good. Their big losses are Zadorov and Lindholm, who are both in-season pickups. Those are tough losses, sure.
Yeah.
But they extend Hronik 8 years.
Yeah.
That's similar to the Draisaitl thing of like Hronik for me is Devon Taves to Cale Makar to Quinn Hughes. Like Hronik is Quinn's partner.
Yeah.
Getting him signed locked up is huge.
Yep.
You extend Myers for 3 years.
Yep.
Your massive shutdown big body. You extend Joshua 4 years. That dude is so important to that team.
I know.
You sign Kiefer Sherwood for 2 years, on a 2-year deal. Great stuff. And then you get Danton Heinen for 2 years, Derek Forbett for a year, Jake DeBrusk for 7 years. You re-sign Shelovs,
Yep.
which is very important.
Yeah.
Demko,
Yep.
And then my favorite one, Daniel Sprong.
Wrong daddy, dude. He's going to score 25 goals.
Here's my thing.
And you just left out one thing, bro. Connor Garland plays for the Canucks.
Yes, he sure does.
He is
forgot about
fucking nasty,
I
dude.
forgot about this guy.
So-
He is fucking nasty.
Forgot about
So
Connor Garland.
I'll rattle this quick and shut up and let you guys talk. But what I like about Vancouver is like everything they lost, they replaced. I'm not saying Forbert's as good as Zadorov. He is not. But Forbert is a PK puck-eating defenseman.
Great stick too.
Great
Forbes has got a great stick.
That's such a sick
Danton
thing to be said
Heinen-
about you.
Like I could not be more proud of Danton Heinen and how he was getting bought out. He was doing PTOs. Plays for Boston last year. What do you have, like 45 points?
Yeah, dude. He shut me up real quick with how he played
and
last
you
year.
we talked about this with who were we talking about last year who can play all over the lineup? Oh, it was in Detroit. Came from Colorado. JT Compher.
Compher.
Yeah,
I think Danton
Compher,
Heinen
dude.
is if someone on your first line goes down and you need 5 games on a first line wing, Danton Heinen, he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
He is
So
that
I
guy.
love him in that middle 6 situation. Honestly, frankly, bottom 6 too if they need
Yeah,
it there.
hell yeah.
And Jake DeBrusk and Daniel Sprong for me are Jake DeBrusk. It would surprise no one if DeBrusk scores 40 on this team, with Rick Tocchet as the coach, and you're playing with centers like Elias Pettersson and JT Miller.
And I believe he's from BC.
He is.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Would anyone be surprised if Jake DeBrusk gets
No.
his 40-goal season with this team? No. And then Sprong, who's got one of the best shots going in the game. He heard the criticism. He knows that he needs to work on his defensive side of the game. I think who better than Rick Tocchet to light a fire under his ass. He signs a prove it, fuck you 1 year,
Yep.
like vet minimum type deal. He's making $980, I
He's
think.
had to do that for the last
Yeah.
little while,
Yeah,
too,
dude.
which
He's
is-
fucking earning it.
And
for
he
him.
knows if he wants a 4-year deal next year, he's got to perform, and I think he's going to do exactly that. And again,
It's a great landing
this
spot
is
for
a
him.
deep team. You put Daniel Sprong on a second, third line wing, and you're just going, fucking go score goals, dude.
Yep.
I think he's gonna.
Getting PP2 time.
And I think Tockett's got his fingerprints all over this team. I think he's mad with how their season ended last year. They're all motivated. I just think, the talk of, oh yeah, they're gonna fall off like Jersey did last year. I don't believe that at all. I don't.
Dude, I don't have much to add. All I'll say is I only had them 2 because I think Edmonton's going to go so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
but
but
I'm all in on Vancouver.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that having them in 3, I mean, I think it's going to be a battle at 1 to 3 spot ranking. But I think that, like you touched on it, I think Rick Tocchet is one of the best coaches at
unbelievable.
getting the most out of players. And I think bringing in like Sprong and who's the other one that came in?
DeBrusk. I think
right,
those two
Those
specifically.
2 guys, I couldn't think of a better coach to get the most out of those guys. Like
completely agree.
And then you have like the instant credibility with him and who else is the coaches there? Adam Foote and Gonchar.
Yes,
Gonchar.
right,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Sergei
that's right, yeah.
Gonchar, right? So it's like, man, like it's a great situation for those new guys to come in and just get better and learn and maybe have breakout years.
Was that Talk's first year there
Ye-
or second?
Last year was his,
I think it was year 1.
I think last year was his first year.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Because he took
Or
over.
he
He took
over
over
2
during
years
the
ago.
season.
That's what it is.
And that
Took
last
over
year was
during
his
the
first
season.
full
Okay.
season.
First
yeah.
full year. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I'll be excited to see, because like he really built something there, right, and like got them playing a certain type of way. Now, and obviously I have them too. I don't think there's going to be a drop off, but now there's a year of tape of the talk Canucks, right? So I'll be excited to see them kind of adjusting on the fly to people's response to their game.
Yeah.
And I'll say too, as a former player, like when you go through it like the Canucks have and other teams, when you've been together for that long and you've kind of got ups and downs and you get a taste of what it's like and to play in those serious games and you're playing against a team that they lost to, that went to the Cup Finals and lost in Game 7.
Yeah, right.
So when you're a team that loses to a team like that, you're thinking, well, fuck. Why couldn't we do that?
Bro, they are literally thinking
Right?
if Thatcher Demko didn't get hurt,
Exactly.
we
They're
win,
thinking
we win the
we
cup.
win that series.
We win the cup.
That's how close it is.
Yep.
To me, I think they, a lot of people were so shocked by their season last year. Everyone was shocked by their
Yep.
season last year. But they get in playoffs, and a lot of people were like, yeah, they might just flame out in the first round because
I picked the Preds. I was like,
that was crazy.
Preds will clip
And then they win a really gritty series with the Preds.
Yep.
And then, I think they were a Thatcher Demko and Brock Besser injury away from beating Edmonton.
Yeah.
And they believe that too, no doubt. And I just think that they're young, but I think they're professional too. I think Quinn is such a good captain. I think he's very mature. I think Petey extending and, after some bullshit, I think he kind of got a slap in the ass of like, you're a leader on this team, dude.
Yeah.
Act like it. Millsy's a motherfucker.
I was just gonna say
he is such a motherfucker.
fuck you leader like him.
Yeah.
He's a fuck you type of leader.
Yeah. I just think it's a good organization. I think it's, a good organization, special place, special fans, and to me, it all comes down to Talkett. Like, Talkett with Foot and Gonchar, it's like they're not going to settle for like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. No way.
No, they're pushing those guys harder this year than they were last.
Yeah. Dude, they're having the same summer conversations that Edmonton is, right? Where you're like, come on, dude.
Same
like,
thing.
Let's go.
You get that taste. You get that far. It's like, fuck. Like we gotta get back to that.
Yeah.
I want to feel that again.
This is so unfair, but it does feel hindsight 2020. But it feels like the Devils last summer were like, we're the shit, and we're gonna be so good again, and kind of got popped in the mouth because of that attitude. And the Canucks this summer don't strike me that way at all. Like with the people in that locker room, they're like, no, dude, we have to be better.
I kind of, if I'm the Canucks, I kind of like how everyone's picking Edmonton to win the division and win the cup.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone's still talking about Vegas as the boogeyman. Like they're almost like sitting back, like, yep, talk all you want about everyone else. We're going to focus on us. Like,
I totally agree.
It's a cool feeling.
So mine is Oilers, Canucks, Vegas, Kraken, Kings, Ducks, Sharks, Flames.
Yep. And mine is Canucks, Oilers, Kings, Knights, Kraken, Ducks, Sharks, Flames.
And mine is Oilers, Kings, Canucks, Kraken, Vegas, Anaheim.
Yep. Flames.
San Jose.
San Jose.
Amazing.
Beautiful stuff. All right, that's our Pacific Division breakdown. Beautiful stuff. We'll see you next week with our Central Division breakdown. And until then,
Skate hard.